Mangen, Felipe. Well, it's time. We must play the Mapuche for Chile tree. Iron Man historical focuses, and this is not my first run. I haven't had a real successful test run yet, so I'm hoping this is it. But I've tried out enough to show how it's done. If you see my communist Chile video, you know that the Chile tree is massive, and we won't be diving into communism, but into non-alignedism and then into the Mapuche tree. Learning a thing or two about Mapuche along the way. We're going to get these beautiful guys in charge, or at least one of them. So we'll lock in a look to tradition at first. Now, the extra challenge with Mapuche is, do you remember me telling you about those 2 research slots Communist Chile had? Mapuche only has the advancements in telecommunications. The Mapuche tree does not have a research slot. And the Mapuche tree is so long and massive that either we do it in its entirety and skip the research slot, or we do that research slot in between, including the year-long devaluing the peso. Choices. I'm going to try out and skip the research slot at least until I capture Brazil. We'll look to the tradition, Ibanez coup, and then the Mapuche conflict. We'll start with electronic mechanical engineering and tools 1. Using only 2 research slots will limit us in what we can do. I'll leave a list for the first few years in the description, as well as the political power. Speaking of political power, I'll take a 10 pp decision and nothing else until I go into the civil war with the other side of Chile. So keep that in mind. We'll start with 2 infrastructure here in this Araucania province, which will be our Mapuche capital later on, after which we will build military factories. Once the civil war kicks off, we will lose everything above Araucania. We'll gather up our army and set them on Temuco, the Mapuche capital, for later. We'll set 3 factories on guns and defer it as soon as we get one, and prepare some artillery, support equipment, trucks, trains, and anti-air for later. I'll also exercise the Navy as much as I can to build up naval experience for Marines. We do need them definitely in this strategy. 5 speed, let's go. We'll also sell these planes for whatever purpose they can serve. Nazistas, completely ignore them. Like I said, we're not doing any decisions or political power spending until we go to war. Look to tradition and Ibanez coup. Carlos Ibanez coup d'etat, and then address the Mapuche conflict. So this is the guy in charge now, and we'll be fighting against him. The electronics slot will go to construction 1, and then we'll do the better guns. Here's the Mapuche conflict. Now, we need to go here for the civil war. There's a lot of focuses here that you can take, and some of them you can skip, but almost all of these focuses give you permanent buffs for later. You see that spirit, modify Mapuche nationalism? That stays with you, and you can make that incredibly powerful. And basically all of these are very nice to have. Daily compliance gain, I'm not giving that up. Political power gain, research speed, yes please. So we're going to take all of these, and starting with Corporación Araucania for the factory output. And when this happens, you can see here, like the Soviet Civil War, you can see Ibanez's decisions that he'll take. We'll take form local defense groups, 10 political power and some minus the political power gain, but the buff is quite useful. And you can see Ibanez getting stronger and stronger, and we're just going to take it because we want all of these buffs, and then we'll beat Ibanez. It's the long build-up towards a better Mapuche. Make Mapuche great again. In order, we'll do Corporación Araucania. sociedad caupolican de la araucania, then la moderna araucania, federacion araucania, undermine the carabineros, union araucania, electing a toqui, convene the araucanian congress, and avenge the pacification. We'll go for concentrated industry this time, just to shake things up. Concentrated suffers from when you jiggle around your industry too much, which I'm known to do from getting new research. But with 2 research slots, I think there will be very little juggling, so I'll go for the extra production output. Getting naval reform, construction 1 into weapons 1. New infantry equipment is done. We got rid of the deficit and we'll train 1 division of infantry. Alright, important decision here. Select an axe-bearer. We'll first do the convene the Araucanian Congress, who will be our leader. Now all of these guys are also advisors, and they'll have different stats then. Manuel here has factory output and non-aligned support for your as an advisor, but as a leader he has division attack on core territory and defense on core territory, and war support, which we need, you know, in order to stay on war economy later. Esteban Romero also has 5% and 10% attack and 10% defense, but it's a blank bonus, so not just in core territory. So this seems to be the better option. And then there's Venancio. He's basically your only option to get as chief of the army later. We currently have no options there, and this one will be the only option you have, unless you go for the communist support in the Congress, which I'm not going to do. So I would never recommend Venancio. I haven't seen any advantages to him yet, and I'm tied between these 2 guys. The bonus here is better, arguably, but that 5% war support is also very nice. So I'm going to take a gamble here and go with Esteban here, greedy for the bonuses. First session of the Araucanian Congress. You can choose here to go it alone or cooperate with the communists. Now, I've test run this, of course. Besides the debuffs here, which you don't want, you get a few communist advisors. Now, one of the major benefits of the Mapuche path is the incredibly good advisors you get. I don't need those communist guys, so we shall not compromise on our ideals. And instead, we will avenge the pacification of Araucania. And here we go. Pacification of Araucania. Well, we'll avenge the pacification, of course. First choice, do we continue down the Mapuche tree or do we take a detour towards the research slot? In this run, I'm going to revise the social classes and get as much Mapuche done as I can. Very important, this is the only time in a long time that you will be able to go to extensive conscription. Take it immediately, that's why I've been saving up political power. The war with Argentina, you will probably outman them, so that is not an option, and you need the extensive conscription manpower to actually beat Argentina, let alone Brazil and the rest of the world. We can now also go to war economy, and we have enough political power left for an army offense guy. Let's assign some generals. Let's promote Esteban also to field marshal. He is our glorious axe wielder. And we need a general. Now, I'd like to grind someone for infantry expert, as we don't have one in our cabinet or in our options. So I'll pick one who doesn't have a role yet, and it will be this one, Alfredo here, level 2 general. He has a room to grow. We currently have 7 divisions. We have 3 left of the ones we got originally, and there's a few of these militia divisions that rose up. Well, militia divisions, this one is actually not so bad. So we'll train another one of those. If you're confused about all the icons, it's the same as the Mapuche one. We'll now also deploy the one division we had, assign everyone to the same general, but only these 3 will assign to the front line here next to Concepcion. I'll make a front line here for the planning bonus. All the other guys are going to stand in the back here. We're going to leave this one empty, but I've never seen the AI actually go for this territory. I want them to attack into my capital here, so they'll lose organization, and once they've done that, I'll counterattack with everything I have. That's the plan, basically. We did manage to hold on to 4 military factories, which isn't so bad, and I'm starting to build some efficiency on artillery and support equipment. The next factory can go into guns. We need a few more. Now, the AI will just sit here and stare at you. If that takes too long, just take off one of these and move them to the back, so they will feel more inclined to attack you. Even try to exercise them. Don't seem to be really into it here. I mean, these are just hills. I mean, let's try if I can attack them myself. Let's get some planning bonus. I have the command power. And do adopt mapudungung. Sure, that one. Planning max, and we'll attack into Concepcion and try to encircle whatever units end up in Chile. Well, that wasn't too bad. Keep an eye on this guy. We don't want to get encircled ourselves. Advisor time, 150 pp. Like I said, we have a wide pick of very good options. So my advice would be to first take Gabriele Mistral, then take the educational reformer, and then take the factory output and compliance growth guy. And so it shall be. Well, I managed to encircle something. Let's kill it. Another choice here, embrace indigenous corporatism or expand the agricultural field. It's also a choice between these two here. And I'm very much in favor of the focus on cattle and wool, because it gives you a lot of supply and attrition's permanent buffs, whereas this one just gives you 2 civilian factories. It's also nice, but hey, I'm going for buffs. Stack the buffs, please. Now they're attacking me. They've lost 1 division. It's fine. Let them attack for a bit, then either encircle Santiago or push through Santiago, depending on where the most of your troops are. I'm going to cut through Valparaiso, because I can attack from 2 sides. Here we are again. Let's get Professional Officer Corps and Bold Attack. Let's get the levels on that general as good as possible. And here we are already. I've had test runs where taking Santiago was not good enough. Not really sure where the difference is. However, you can always naval invade Antofagasta once you've taken out enough of their units, otherwise they'll garrison it. If you're wondering what happened to this province here, where we have a claim, well, Ibanez sold it to Peru for a consumer goods bonus, I guess. So here we are, November 1937, and our war support is too low for war economy. That's probably good enough, because Anschluss will happen by that time. Let's just wait it out. In the meantime, let's create some divisions. I'm going to do almost the same thing as in my Chile video. I'm going to create a tiny template and train a whole bunch of those. Now, in communist Chile, I went for the north side with my good troops and the south with line holders. Here it's going to be the other way around, because we have attack and defense on core territory bonus. Now, which we'll get for the focus tree, and these 3 provinces, Chubut, Santa Cruz and Terra del Fuego, will be our cores. So we'll attack into there to encircle their troops. Let's also get going on those flame tanks and get our research speed guy. From this point on, we're looking at relatively high political power gain and not much left to do. We can get the last advisor and do improved working conditions. So only from this point on would I recommend using MIOs to speed up research. The line holders can hold from Santiago and up to the north. And the actual offensive army will do from the south of Santiago all the way over here. And we'll take the top 6 divisions, take them off, and put them on Terra del Fuego. Usually I don't bother with this stuff here, but I can encircle and destroy 1 or 2 divisions here. That'll be great. Now, what template will I be using? I'll be using a duplicate of the tiny golden light infantry. They'll be very light infantry, that's it. And for these guys, I'll use the Los Insurgentes Mapuche, yep. And we'll give those guys support engineers and support artillery. We don't have the manpower yet, but it'll get there. Silverworking. Let's continue with more military factories. How's our conscription looking? That's fine. Anschluss happened, not at 25%. But fine, we'll demobilize the economy. Now we have a deficit of a year, so we might not rush for Argentina now. That's probably suicidal. But I want to get to that crusade against imperialism really quickly because of the generate war goal time, minus 80%. I need that speed to get Brazil faster than I would otherwise get it. This one will declare war on Argentina, so now that we're ready, let's delay a tiny bit and do some more other focuses. Let's also get Guido here for the factory bonus and later the compliance growth. Let's get into public works, take a few steps towards our research slot, then we'll declare war on Argentina. Devalue the peso is done, and we'll recover Puel Mapu. Oh yeah, of course, just when you are going to war, we also have an earthquake. We can either help the people or we say we have bigger problems, which will cut our stability, and this will just lower our stability. Didn't have too much of it anyway, but we're building it up. So, you know, consumer goods, who cares? I love those focuses that automatically declare war. Not taking the Union just yet. I'm going to focus on cattle and wool for this time. And I'm going for war propaganda. And I'll take these 6 units here and immediately head into Terra del Fuego and see if I can get rid of these few units. Scan the front line here for holes and just move troops in here. I'm selecting these 3, press S to split, and then move a few guys in there. It'll send the AI into haywire. They'll have to fill those gaps. Don't attack anyone with these line holders, they'll just kill themselves. That's Engineer 2, we'll also get Recon and get building on those basic medium tanks. Take some time to do the military focuses here. I mean, it's a good pocket and it's got a lot of divisions, but I'm killing myself on those mountains here. And that's done. That's quite a hole in the Argentinian lines, and I'm going to use this full army now to make a break for Buenos Aires, which should be enough. And these guys can just hold. That's all they're doing. Oh wait, I can get a victory point. We're going for a union of American indigenous peoples now, because I think I can capitulate Argentina quickly enough and then go for Brazil. And crusade against imperialism. 98, 100, and here we are. Argentina is now Mapuche. Now pay attention, we have a few cores here. Santa Cruz, Chubut, Rio Negro and Terra del Fuego are all my cores. The rest is just Argentina. So we'll puppet the rest with resource rights, war operations and taking the navy. We got the points. Mapuche, Argentina, and Mapuche State. More cores. Did we get any guns? Yeah, we did. So, oh wait, let's clean this up. Let's take the base template, add 1 infantry. That'll be it for now. Let's also edit the Marines a bit. I'm going to use a few. Make them a classic 7-1 with pioneers, flame tanks, and we'll add recon and support artillery later. I would like to say let's continue with Brazil, but world tension is still below 50%. We're early, and we have to be early. Crusade against imperialism is going on here, and you can see here that we can generate war goals a bit quicker then, quite a bit even. So I'll just finish for this focus and then get to Brazil. The sequence will be to take out Mapuche, Argentina, Brazil, Spain, and then the UK. It's going to be tricky, especially with this navy, but we might be able to manage it. Brazil is even going to be tricky, but I think we can handle them in 1939. Stability is going to be a problem, and we have sort of a time limit. The time limit is, of course, the United States joining the Allies. If you're going to capitulate the United Kingdom to get hold of Canada, you need them to capitulate. So the United States needs to be out of that war. That's summer 1941, where they usually join, but they can join sooner if they feel threatened or declared war upon. So we have to be a little careful. We'll use the Mapuche primary army to punch through here and reach the supply hub at Curitiba. This is pretty much the same thing as I did in my communist Chile video, because it's the smart thing to do. Since the light infantry will be line holders, anyway, I'll flip them to an Argentinian template. I'll use this cavalry template. Make it a bit smaller. Once I have the experience, take 3 off here. I have a fair amount of Marines ready to go. I'll try to convert 6 of them again. Should be alright. Here's Crusade against Imperialism. Here we can see none of these countries exist, so I can't do this focus yet. Let's just focus on getting good puppets and improving the rest. Still can't go for my third and only extra research slot, so I'll improve the military because, you know, that's what I'm working with. Expand the army academy all the way down to put the nitrate production to use, which will significantly boost my artillery. We can justify on Brazil in 85 days. Not doing collaboration government, I'll trust to using puppets for both Argentina and Brazil, and we'll occupy the rest. We'll also, in terms of our stability, do all the raids. It will hurt us now, but we'll come back stronger. We also got access to this general. He's certainly good for a level 4 general. I'm not using him for the moment because I'm grinding infantry expert on Alfredo here. He's almost there. And then I can get an infantry expert into my cabinet, which is currently not an option. Marines are ready to go. The rest of the infantry, well, they'll have to do. Deficits are still there. We'll get there. I'll take off another infantry or battalion from my cavalry here. And that should almost get us there. And the rest will build. Not a problem. We no longer get the effects from devaluing the peso, so we can finally get to that research slot and we can declare war on Brazil. Do or die, here we go. We still have to call in Chile and Argentina, and now we can move in. I'm going to request their forces, just so I can keep them out of the way. Somewhere over here. Now the supply hub here at Curitiba is the most important target here. And the rest we're just pinning. Probably we're also pushing, but it's fine. We can also go to war economy. Marines are pushing. Let's move on. There's a regular infantry here, and I'll see if I can grab the coastline, which would be a good consolation prize if I cannot manage to get the supply hub. Then I'll build a port here and we'll also be fine. Let's prepare a railroad. Top priority. Not doing too well here. Strong defense. Well, we encircled the empty place here. They put all their divisions there. Let's see if I can stop the attack here and they'll move out. They are in fact doing that. Conquer Joinville. Somehow it flipped to Argentina. Well, we'll deal with that later. Let's put a port in there and see if we can build it quickly. I really want that artillery upgrade, but we'll get the research slot first. It's another few focuses. We got infantry expert, which makes an infantry specialist. And a few more PPs, and we can put them in our cabinet. Well, I got supply here now, so let's grab the supply hub and snake our way through Brazil. They look strong, but they only have like 20 divisions or something. This is interesting. 4 speed, and in the jungle my fully upgraded marines have the superior speed. It's like working with tanks in the jungle. Except, you know, they're not tanks. But I might be able to work with some encirclements here. I for sure cut off the larger part of the Brazilian army, what's left of them, in the jungle here, while the road to their capital is wide open. Which I will abuse now. %. Finally. Now we can puppet, or we can go for the compliance. I think I'll puppet these guys. Mapuche, Brazil. Time's ticking. We need to head into España. Luckily, we have very short justifications. We need about 2 armies to head into Spain. Mapuche, Brazil. Yeah, we'll take the infantry template, and sure, this looks nice. Let's take a medium flame tank as well. We'll head into the Canary Islands first again. I'll need to head into Spain and then into the UK in less than a year. A little trick here. You can see if I select the entire fleet of all ships, I cannot reach Canary Islands and will not get supremacy there. But if I split off all the destroyers are the range problem here. These guys, they can all reach repairs. Do it in your own time. They can reach Canary Islands, so we can get supremacy. No time like the present. We'll solve our deficits once we get there. And we are getting more factories. Mapuche, Argentina. Once that kicks in, it should really solve my factory count. Here we go. 39 factories and a deficit of steel. We'll fix that too. Justification is complete. I'll just wait for this exercise to be done. We will be lacking. And of course the 5% attack, 10% defense, free buff, thank you. We'll now head to foreign advisors. This one's interesting too. Military construction speed. 35 days only. Exercise is done. No time like the present. Let's invade Spain. Naval supremacy is gone. 47%. Let's see if we can draw out their fleet by naval raiding elsewhere. And here we go. Let's put these guys on convoy escort. Lend-Lease, United States. Sure, buddies. Yeah. Well, the Canary Islands were unguarded, so 12 divisions. We can probably send more, but it'll be good enough. And here we go. Convoy escort. Thank you. Why convoy escort, not naval invasion support? Naval invasion support, as I understand it, helps you bombard the coast, but will not protect your convoys. And I think that's the priority here. And we are landing in Spain. Doesn't look like a problem at this point, but Spain has quite a few troops, and they'll all be ganging up on this coastline here. So what we want to do is expand and encircle as soon as possible. You see, there's a healthy welcoming committee here. Should also probably take a look here. These guys do not have flame tanks yet. Probably should have done that sooner. What's the tactic? Hold the line here. Wrap around this coast. Sure. And now Spain has moved its entire army to the west, and well, the Brazilians here have a clean road into Madrid. And that's Spain. And now we only have so little time left to actually take out the UK. Luckily, we have some good Marines. The anti-air situation is probably not so good. And the regular templates, it's severely lacking, but I'll grab the artillery from the Brazilians if I have to. Make it something like this. And try to invade from La Coruña. They can invade from Falkland Islands. So 13 Argentine divisions, 16 Argentine divisions, 14 days. Yeah, we'll just have to do it. Naval supremacy against the UK fleet will also be a problem, but we'll hope to get lucky. Justify war goal, Falkland Islands, 10 days. The fleet is here, I'm not saying ready, and the submarines will try to distract. I've also got 18 Brazilian divisions in reserve. I'll ask military access from the Germans so I can put them close by. Nearly done. Well, let's try day 1 naval invasion. Not holding my breath. Declare war. Here we go. Does it launch? It launches. We can call in Spain. Kill these troops. Anything for a little bit of war participation. And here we go. Tick tock, tick tock. The clock is ticking, boys. Get a move on. Yes, we got Bristol. Send in the rest. I love it how the Mapuches just have a hat and not a helmet. But you know, my Marines, they're professionals. Now it's going to be a mixture of capitulating them as fast as possible and also getting as much war participation as possible. London is clear. I mean, surrounded. I'll clear it momentarily. What is my war participation at this time? 10%. I'll need a bit more. Beautiful. The Mapuche state has all of the UK now. Except, of course, this one last bit. It's not going to get any better than this, so let's just capitulate them with 20% war participation. The fall of Gibraltar, fall of London, United Kingdom has capitulated. Oh yeah. Now, from this peace deal we pretty much want everything in the Americas, and I do mean everything. We'll puppet Canada again. We'll release those later, annex them later I guess. But let's not forget about these two beauties here. We can integrate them as cores. These three beauties here. This is the United States, we'll deal with them. Curaçao. Bahamas. Honduras. This is also United States. They've been taking stuff that is rightfully native. Canada. Now we have everything in the Americas, and we can also go for a slightly industrious British puppet. Puppet the United Kingdom and try to take some of the South industrial heartland here. The perfect peace deal. I took 12 states, UK as a puppet, Canada as a puppet. Oh yes, 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 yes. It's all coming together. Mapuche Britain. Reaching the end of the guide here, I did take it a step further and I reorganized the Brazilian and Canadian native governments through the Decisions tab, and then did a unified by will focus just to see what happened. As you can see, these are now my core states, but I did not gain any more cores in these areas. Might get them if I liberate more people, but it's a good start because now I have 2.9 million manpower, 221 factories. That's including the UK, of course. I should be good. I can either go through the north here or from the south. Probably best to do it both ways. Just ignore Europe and Asia, build up to 1942 and 43 and crush them. Might do that myself in a future sequel. I am eager to finish this game. However, for today, this is the end of the video. 40 minutes and counting. I had to use all that time because it's a very precise strategy to rise up as Mapuche. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, press the like button, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.